Here's President Trump endorsing Burt Jones for governor.
This man has my complete and total endorsement. It's not like, oh, gee, let me think about it. Burt Jones has been an incredible leader, but he has just been solid as a rock, and he loves this state so much. And I really want to see him win. He has been really, really good at what he does.
Join President Trump in supporting Burt Jones for governor, the winning team for Georgia.
You will be very happy, Georgia.
Oh, I don't know if I can believe that. I mean, my goodness. I don't know. Is that really an endorsement? Joining me on the Newsmax hotline, Burt Jones, Lieutenant Governor and current Trump-endorsed candidate for governor for Georgia. How you doing, sir?
Rob, I'm doing well, man. Thank you for having us on today.
That was a pretty full-throated endorsement by the President of the United States, my friend. That's pretty amazing.
Absolutely. You know, he hadn't done it once, not twice, but he's done it 3 times now for me here in Georgia, and I still have these guys running against me, these never-Trumpers, as I call them, trying to claim that the president's supporting them, but he obviously, you could hear that audio you just played right there.
Yes, sir.
It's as strong as it comes.
Well, it's important, and I think the president is popular. The liberal media, the leftist media, the Democrat Party are doing everything they can to counter Donald Trump, no matter what he does, including most recently demeaning our troops and their tremendous success, starting on day one with epic fury, and now the Democrat Party forcing the DHS to be shut down when we're at our most vulnerable. It is remarkable, isn't it, Burt Jones?
It's wild. It's wild to watch them. They dislike him so much. I've never seen anything like it before. That they would rather do harm to our military personnel as well as our country as a whole. It's just ridiculous. And the problem is that it's spreading. Down here in Georgia, we've got Democrats that used to be kind of middle of the road have just gotten to be these left-wing, almost lunatic-like.
Well, this isn't like, for instance, in the state of Virginia. I just moved to Virginia from Kansas City, and I moved to Virginia. The governor here, who is a crazy white liberal cat lady, lied about who she was, misrepresented who she was, got into office, and is springing all sorts of crap on the people of Virginia. 75 new taxes, gun control that is completely unconstitutional, even though the state has a $2.3 billion surplus going in. Is that the same thing that's going on in the state of Georgia?
Well, it's even worse than that. Even the Republicans and Democrats, the Republicans I'm running against and Democrats we're running against, you really couldn't tell the difference between them if you put them in the room, because the guys that I'm running against are such moderate lightweights that they might as well be running on the Democratic ticket. So it is kind of scary that in the Republican primary, I truly am the only common sense conservative candidate in the race, and because the rest of them have a track record that is easily exposed, and they are not America first. I can assure you that. You're
running against a guy named Rick Jackson, who's, I guess, spending a lot of money on TV ads and whatnot, and is presenting himself, I've heard, as a conservative outsider. I'm assuming he is misrepresenting himself.
Well, he bankrolled Jeb Bush's campaign in 2016. He bankrolled Nikki Haley's campaign in 2024. And he runs a healthcare operation that promotes Planned Parenthood, DEI. He has a DEI director within his organization, as well as trans surgeries for minors and prisoners. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. I'm telling you, it's terrible.
Well, this is not the people of Georgia. I don't care if you're black, white, or otherwise. This is not the people of Georgia. Same goes for this legislature here in the state of Virginia. They do not represent the people. The people are much more conservative and common sense than these people who are either running for office or already in office.
No question about it, and we need to root them all out, Rob, because they're poison to our state, they're poison to our country, and they don't need to be involved in politics for sure, because they don't represent the people in their best interests. And so that's a big reason why I'm running. I've seen all these guys up close and personal, and they do not believe in what the president is doing right now and his agenda, because they never have before. So you can always tell what somebody's going to do in the future by just watching what they've done in the past. And
100%.
these guys they're all trying to fool the public here, but they're not going to. Georgians are smarter than this.
I think so too. How are things at Hartsfield? I mean, Hartsfield, the most busy airport in the country. The Democrat Party doesn't care about the inconvenience, doesn't care about our safety when sleeper cells are being awakened. How are things at the busiest airport in the country?
Well, obviously you got a big hiccup, with what's going on when you cut off when you've got people out there either working for free right now, or they're just calling in sick. So it causes a shortage in personnel, and obviously when you have the busiest airport in the world, it doesn't take long for things to back up pretty quickly. So so that's the concern. But unfortunately, we've got 2 Democratic U.S. senators, believe it or not. I still don't know how we have that, but we've got 2. And they're just as partisan as the next person, so they're not helping matters any. One's up for re-election, so I can't believe that he's taking the stances that he's taking. But but he's gonna I hope the people of Georgia remember it on the ballot this coming November.
There's a lot of people leaving the Democrat-run states. I don't call them blue states. That's bullcrap. Red is communist. But a lot of people, they vote in these people like Zohran Mamdani. Nobody wants to live there anymore. Nobody moves to New York because Zohran Mamdani is in charge. Nobody is moving to Maryland because Wes Moore is in charge. Nobody's moving to California because of Gavin Newsom's policies. The state of Georgia, you're talking about possibly getting rid of the income tax. You've seen how well it works in Tennessee, in Florida, in Texas, in South Dakota, all of these things. Is that one of the things you're planning on doing if you become the governor?
Yeah, absolutely, and all our neighbors are talking about it. South Carolina, North Carolina, and we've lowered the state income tax all 4 years I've been lieutenant governor. I'd like to see us go to 0. We're taking on property tax issues at the local level, and so we're doing all the kitchen table issues, things that will help people in their pocketbooks and their wallets. We're doing those right now and going to continue to do it when I'm governor. And it's just amazing to me that all these measures, we're in legislative session right now, and we've been bringing these proposals up, and every time every Democrat votes against measures that will absolutely represent savings to their constituents, and they're just doing it because of this ideology that the Democrats have right now that's just un-American.
Yeah, and if you win the governorship at the state of Georgia, it's going to result in a net income of people. Georgia's a beautiful state. I used to do a lot of time on the radio there when WYAY in Atlanta was there. They even considered adding me there for the morning show, but then they got sold. But I love the area. I love the state of Georgia. It's an absolutely gorgeous place. And I got to tell you, if you can make it more attractive by lessening regulation and lessening taxes, it's gonna blow up. But we've got to get rid of these woke policies that are driving people out of states like Virginia, states like New Jersey, states like California. Burt Jones, I appreciate you being on. I know you got to BurtJones4GA.com. You're on Twitter, Burt Jones for GA. Anywhere else we can direct people to help you out?
You can go to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all under the same call sign. And I just appreciate you having me on here, Rob, and look forward to seeing you in the near future.
Brother, you are welcome anytime here. And when you win, I will come to Georgia, and I'll take you out to dinner at Crystal Burger.
That sounds good. All right, look forward to it. Take care now.
Talk to you soon. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Yeah, so we're actually getting a front row seat to a wonderful show that I like to call
Are you nearly maxed
Theater.
out on your credit card?
This is Benny Johnson talking to the Federalist Sean Davis about Republicans in Congress not being able to muster the votes or the cojones for the SAVE Act.
Yeah, so we're actually getting a front row seat to a wonderful show that I like to call failure theater. It's been put on for years by Republicans, and the way it works is this. They don't actually want to pass something. They don't really care what their own voters want. They care about delivering for K Street. So in this case, what they don't have the votes for is voter ID, voter security, election integrity.
Give me a layup.
But they want to get credit for it. And the way they do that is they always set up these 60 vote thresholds. And those are great because you don't have 60 Republican senators, so they know it won't pass. Because remember, they don't want it to pass. But it allows them, knowing that it's going to fail, to set up failure votes, which is what Thune wants to do. Thune does not want a majority vote because he doesn't have, regardless of the 50 co-sponsors on this, he doesn't have 50 votes. So what he wants to do is set up a 60-vote threshold, knowing it will fail, so he can get every Republican or nearly every Republican on board. See, Mitch McConnell will go on a 60-vote threshold, and he'll vote for it, because then he can go back and say, well, of course I support it.
Yeah, well, that crap ain't going to fly anymore. That crap isn't going to fly anymore. We're done. Get some work done. Do what we're asking you to do. We don't want you to whiff at the wiffle ball. We want you to hit the damn thing. And honestly, we see through this. Do you think it's 1960? Do you think it's 1970? Do you not think that we have the Library of Alexandria times 1 million in the palm of our hand, for God's sake? Do you not see that we can see everything about you, what you're doing, what you're not doing? We get it. We're not stupid. We're not stupid. Do something for God's sake. This is a layup. Everybody wants you to be able to prove your citizenship to get the rights of citizenship, and one of those rights is the right to vote. And if someone votes who is illegal, they're taking away your right to vote. They're taking away your representation. And there are some Democrats who have no problem with it. No problem. I promised you that I would play Whoopi Goldberg saying one of the dumbest things in the history of mankind. I'm going to get to that, but I have a new View theme song
Pick
here.
a little, talk a lot. Pick a little, talk a little. Cheap, cheap, cheap. Talk a lot. Pick a little more. Pick a little, talk a little. Pick a little, talk a little. Cheap, cheap, cheap. Talk a lot. Pick a little more. Pick a little, talk a little. Pick a little, talk a little. Cheap, cheap, cheap. Talk a lot. Pick a little more. Pick a little, talk a little. Pick a little, talk. Cheap, cheap, cheap. Talk a lot. Pick a little more. Pick a little, talk a little. Pick a little, talk a little. Cheap, 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 cheap.
We'll start with Sonny Hostin. Sonny Hostin is an ignoramus. Talking about Donald Trump going into Iran with a plan to get rid of Iran's nukes, get rid of Iran's missiles, end the threat to not only the Middle East but also the world, to get rid of the Ayatollah, to end the slavery that has existed in that country with regard to women, to free the Persian people, to spread peace around the world. Other than that, nothing. Here is Sonny Hostin. I mean, honestly, why they've got to go back to the stuff that they started with, Hollywood Dish and on camera cooking segments.
I mean, it's something, to your point, Whoopi, I've said it before, it's very easy to get into a war, very hard to get out of one.
Well, you're certainly an authority on that.
And we know that. And I don't think he has a plan. I don't even think he has concepts of a plan.
No, I think he has a very good plan. He's really actually said it very well. And all of the people surrounding him, Pete Hegseth and whatnot, they've explained it thoroughly. You've just been too busy watching TMZ.
At this point. And I think what's... Yeah, like healthcare.
Like healthcare. Healthcare should have been fixed in 2010 with Obamacare.
I mean, the concept of a plan on how to get out.
Okay, so whenever there's a conflict that Republicans need to win, or Donald Trump, a Republican president, needs to win, it is a righteous movement. Suddenly, healthcare. Suddenly, out of nowhere, healthcare.
Of Iran. Yeah. He's saying there is no leader. Actually, the son of the person that you...
Yeah, but he's in a coma.
...used to be the leader is considered far more right, is now in charge. And I think these mixed messages really are going to...
They're not mixed at all. You just got to pay attention.
...to ultimately affect the American people, because it is estimated that this war that we started is costing the American people between $1 and $2 billion.
Oh, now you care. Okay, yeah, okay.
A day. And they're estimating that if it goes on for as long as, let's say, some of the other wars, about 40 days, 43 days, it could cost the American people more than 200.
What about $1.5 trillion in green energy bullcrap that results in nothing? Oh, my God, you are so stupid. I just can't stand it anymore. It's like watching a piece of feces called stupid swirl the drain forever. It just never goes down. It just swirls and swirls and swirls. And every day you got to look at it and you got to see it, and it's just there on television every day. And then, of course, there's Whoopi Goldberg, who says the reason why Iran and Operation Epic Fury is to, oh boy, you're going to lose IQ points on this. Be ready for it. If you're driving, you might want to pull over. For a second, you'll be a little distracted. You won't even be able to read a stop sign. You'll be like, ST, what is that? Just pay attention. Pay attention. The war. It's not the war. It's a military conflict. There you go. Is to distract from Savannah Guthrie's mother and Jeffrey Epstein.
It's just nutty as hell.
Mm-hmm.
It's nutty as hell.
Yeah.
And you're right. Every day is something
Flush it.
new. And it's, I was thinking about it yesterday because I thought.
You were thinking?
Well, okay. Why haven't we been talking about Savannah Guthrie and what's going on there? Why haven't we not been Why have we not?
You hear him? Pick a little, talk a little. Oh yeah, bok, 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 bok.
Not been talking about the Epstein files because that's still there. This is meant to get us so worked up that we are unable to see anything else.
There's the coop. The coop. They're all cackling.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
Yes.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
I know.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Pick a little, talk a lot. Pick a little, talk a little. Cheep, cheep, cheep. Talk a lot, pick a little more. Pick a little, talk a little. Pick a little, talk a little. Cheep, cheep, cheep. Talk a lot, pick a little more. Pick a little, talk a little. Pick a little, talk a little. Cheep, cheep, cheep. Talk a lot, pick a little more. Pick a little, talk a little. Pick a little, talk. Cheep, cheep, cheep. Talk a lot, pick a little more. Pick a little, talk a little. Pick a little, talk a little. Cheep, 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 cheep.
Yeah, they need to get back to the kitchen on set making delightful summer recipes and Hollywood dish. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Hey guys, it's Carson from Birch Gold. Think about that. Was kind of fun. Yeah. Well, I've done that before. I just hadn't played it in a while. I just, honestly, the problem, the view they make women look stupid, and it's a damn shame because women are smart and awesome, and they really make women look stupid, and I hate that. I really, really hate it. It's honestly, and you get dumber. Oh yeah, it's to distract from Savannah Guthrie, Nancy Guthrie's, disappearance. What? I just don't even know. It's just overwhelming. It's overwhelming how stupid they are. Oh, I got some good stuff coming up from Rob Schmidt. I got some good stuff coming up. Excuse me. Is this Burt Jones, ? This is Rob Carson, period. Whatever you need, we're here for you with the national audience, period. Good luck and Godspeed, period. All right. Sorry, I had to talk real quick here. Fight, 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 America. Yes, yes, yes. Who else we got over here? We got Chick Make Boom Boom. Is that Chicken Scratch? Wild Bill West. I'm not sure what that means. But yeah, we're losing brain cells with these stupid libs. That is Round a Pony. Thank you, Round a Pony. You're exactly right. The cackling Karen hens of the 100%. All right, here we go. All right, so gas prices have gone up a little bit. The price of oil went up $120. Then it dropped down to $80 where it was before the conflict. Now that the U.S. ships are escorting tankers through the Straits of Hormuz, they bombed all these Iranian mining ships they were planning on blowing up and all of that. But here is Whoopi Goldberg. I'm sorry to do this to you. I know the stupid is a little overwhelming. Saying we should tap the oil reserves.
Now, we have reserves for this. Mm-hmm. We have reserves.
You have zero intellectual reserves.
Where are they?
They've been tapped out.
Where is our oil? Yeah,
Joe Biden emptied it to keep the gas prices artificially low, even though his policies caused gas prices to go through the ceiling.
Yes, when gas gets too much, they bust out the reserves and it brings the price down. So where are the reserves? Where is that? Where is anything that he said other than a lot of misery,
right?
A lot of pain for people.
Where were you when Joe Biden was the president? You gated community elitist who's been rich for the last 40-plus years. Honestly, done. I'm done. I can't take any more of you. I can't take any more of you today. You can't either. I know. I'm sorry to subject you to it. It's just sometimes you gotta share it. You just gotta share it. My gosh. So, uncertainty around the world means your investments have to be more certain. What is one of the most certain ways to watch your money grow? What is one of the most certain stores of wealth in the history of mankind? Well, that would be gold, my friends. It's been precious since the day it was discovered, for goodness sakes. Think about it. Gold is at $41.64 right now. That's per ounce, kids. A year and a half ago, about $2,600. It is $5,100. And if you are considering buying gold, what's the number one thing you need to consider? A company you can trust, right? Right? Because there are a million people out there parroting, you buy your metal here, buy your metal here, buy your metal here. There's only one company that Rob Carson has his money in. And I don't have a lot of money. And so it's my money is precious. I want to invest it in precious metals. I go with a company I can trust, and it is Birch Gold, A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. And if you want to get the ball rolling on investing in gold, text my name, R-O-B, Rob, to 989898. Rob to 989898. For Democrats listening, Rob is spelled R-O-B. And also if you were listening to Whoopi Goldberg, text Rob to 989898. Get the ball rolling. No obligation, just information. Birch Gold, the company I trust. Last hour of the Rob Carson Show right ahead. Thane Rosenbaum to talk about Iran and other things in the next hour. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, it's Carson. I just got a ghost bed. Yeah, no, pay attention here, because I've been sleeping on a foam mattress since I moved to the Washington, D.C. area, which is like sleeping on the sponge in your sink. Ghost Bed doesn't build mattresses like furniture. They build engineered sleep systems. Their beds are serious health equipment. Beds designed for relief and recovery, not looks, not fluff. Your body should be healing while you sleep, not fighting for comfort. I have been sleeping past 7 in the morning on my Ghost Bed. It's unbelievable. If you wake up stiff, you toss and turn, if you sleep hot, even reaching for a pain reliever before bed, hoping tonight will be different, that's not aging. It's your mattress talking. Another great thing I love about Ghost Bed, you get 101 nights to try it at home. If you don't like the difference, you can send it back risk-free. Ghost Bed is offering my audience their lowest prices of the season, plus an extra 10% off. Go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Use promo code Carson. That's ghostbed.com/Carson. Promo code Carson. You are going to love your new Ghost Bed.
now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show, hour number 3. I hope you're enjoying it thus far. If you've missed any of it, just go to the podcast. I know we've had a little streaming issues like Joe Biden at 2 in the morning, but you know, the audio is all there. Go to your usual podcast platforms and look up Rob Carson Show. Will ya? Because I think you're going to enjoy the show. Lots of good stuff. I do 10 hours of show prep for a 3-hour show. You know why? Not only because I have no life, but because that's how I roll. You know, I've been doing this a while, and this is my, this is what I love. And we're here for a reason. You and I have been through a hell of a lot in the last 10 years, particularly the last 6 since the nonsense of, the Biden administration and shutting down our speech. And, I knew there was some place I would have to go and have to be. I got a divorce because my wife filed for divorce the day after the election in 2024. You figure it out. And I said, you know what? We went through so much, and I lost so many friends. I lost a lot for my political beliefs. They remain unshaken, and we were right. And I said that you've experienced the same thing. You've experienced the harassment, the nonsense. There are places you can't wear a MAGA hat because somebody's going to go at you. Maybe you were censored online. Maybe you were shadow banned online. And then we watched as Donald Trump had to go through 4 miserable trials on the campaign trail, all based on nothing. Then they raided Mar-a-Lago. Then they impeached him twice, once after he left office. Then they tried to kill him twice. That's why I'm here, and I'm going to be here. So, we do our very best. I do my very best every day to come in here and bring you the best dang show I can. And I hope that you can appreciate it because, we're here together. All righty, let's move on to other stuff. NBC says ICE is more popular than Democrats. Yeah, no. I think ICE is more popular than the Democrats say they are because the Democrats are just trying to repeat a lie enough to make you believe it. That's what Joseph Goebbels did. You repeat a lie enough, you'll believe it. ICE is Nazis. ICE are Gestapo. Police are, racist. Defund the police. You repeat it enough. You shout it enough. Some idiots are going to start to believe it. Donald Trump is a Nazi. Well, he's a white supremacist. Charlie Kirk is a fascist. Then what happens? Violence happens. You literally see the words of the left on the shell casings of the people they kill, like in Minneapolis at a daycare center, and like Charlie Kirk. And I'm done with it. And people who are officers for ICE, I met an ICE officer a few weeks ago. It was at the gym when I was in Kansas City. I was in Kansas City at the gym working out. I don't know how I got in a conversation with him, if he recognized me or something, but I said, "What do you do for a living?" He goes, I looked around. He goes, "I work for ICE." Oh, that's fantastic. He was afraid to admit that he works as a police officer for ICE. He's an Immigration and Customs Enforcement officer. By the way, a proud tradition. They're not Nazis. They're not Gestapo. They're people who are police officers who just happen to enforce immigration. So sickening what the left has done to them. Screw you for doing that. And for those who are working for ICE, and I know you're listening right now, I think America is so behind you 100%. Just these idiots. New NBC survey says 30% of respondents had very positive or somewhat positive views of Democrats. 52% had very negative, somewhat negative views of Democrats. Net negative of 22 underwater. Despite heavy messaging by Democrats against ICE in recent months, the NBC survey found 38% had positive views of the agency compared to 56% with negative, for a net rating of negative 15, still more popular than the Democrats. And the Democrats are getting fluffed left and right. Left and right. I want to play something fun last night. Rob Finnerty went off on the liberal media, the leftist media, who have done some just unbelievably stupid things as of late. We had a terrorist attack in New York City. This was posted on X at CNN, and whoever did this should be fired. It's been taken down. But this is about the attack on white Christians protest against radical Islam in front of Gracie Mansion, where a radical Islamist is now the mayor, and his wife, who is liked pro-October the 7th attack posts on social media to the tune of about 70 times. Even got dropped from her Revlon Cosmetics endorsement and campaign because they said, yeah, she's not the kind of people we want involved with our product. But that said, here's what CNN wrote about the two bombers who tried to murder a bunch of white Christians. Two Pennsylvania teenagers. I'll do it like I think they would sound, whoever wrote this. Two Pennsylvania teenagers crossed into New York City Saturday night for what could have been a normal day, enjoying the city during abnormally warm weather. But in less than an hour, their lives would drastically change. Okay, what does that sound like? It sounds like a trailer for a Netflix movie. It almost kind of sounds like like one of those Hallmark Channel ads. Two young teenagers with an adventurous heart venture into the city of New York during a summer day. Will their romance catch fire? But in less than an hour, their lives would drastically change as the pair would be arrested for throwing homemade bombs during an anti-Muslim protest outside the Mayor Zohran Mamdani's home. Here's what we know so far. Oh, my God. And this is Abby Phillips saying it wasn't... this is how they said it. They said that the radical Islamists who are anti-Christian and wanted to see Christians die were actually anti-Islam because they tried to attack the Muslim mayor. I know, it's so stupid. There has to be a thing called a brain cramp. Because I had a headache earlier. I had a headache earlier. I think I was having a brain cramp. I think it actually happened. No way to rub it out, by the way, unless you listen to this show.
Republicans say Muslims don't belong here after an attempted terror attack against New York's Mayor Zohran Mamdani. And
it wasn't against Mayor Mamdani, and she has since had to apologize.
House Speaker Mike Johnson says nothing, really, to condemn those comments.
And then I'll mention this again, because I mentioned it earlier when I was talking to Emily Sturge of Campus Reform. The New York Times, to show you how they don't know that they're already dead. The New York Times and CNN. My God. After all of this, after all of their ratings in the toilet, where more people are watching, I mean, listen, in a country of 330 million, less than 500,000 people are watching CNN, and they've got forced viewership in airports, for God's sake. I mean, what do you got to put on television that only 300,000 people or 400,000 people watch in a country of 300 million people? But here's the New York Times. I call this the Yes, Virginia, there is an Ayatollah. It's almost like a letter that they wrote. But listen, this is the New York Times talking about the Ayatollah Khamenei, the guy who died like 5 minutes into Operation Epic Fury. Quote, and it almost sounds like a letter about Santa Claus. It does. Listen to this. Listen to this. Listen. With his spectacles, Palestinian Kefaya, whatever the hell it's called, long robe and silver beard. It sounds like you're describing Santa Claus. Take out the Kayefa. With his spectacles, long robes, and silver beard. And his round belly that shook like a bowl full of jelly when the Tomahawk cruise missile hit his palace. I like that. That makes me kind of smile. Ayatollah Khamenei cast himself as a religious scholar as well as a writer and translator of works on Islam. He affected avuncular and magnanimous aloofness, running the country from a perch above the jousting of daily politics. Don't forget to leave some carrots out for the goats when he comes down your chimney and visits you. Because, he likes to bring his wife with him, and she's the goat. Literally, she's the goat. Right over there, she's grazing. When the Ayatollah comes and visits you, after he gets blown to smithereens, make sure to leave out some carrots, not only little cookies for the Ayatollah, but maybe some carrots for his goat, for his wife, because, she's going to be there like Rudolph. You know, except for her nose is red, her rear end is a little red. Actually, I think. Anyway, that's how the Democrat Party. That's how CNN is treating the Iranian conflict. And Rob Finnerty did a brilliant job making fun of these people. One of the things that he did was absolutely. I'm going to cover it on the other side of the break. But I promise you, you're going to love it, okay? All right. And by the way, Dylan and Ken, if you're listening, that right there was the video of the day. Okay, so put it up. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Deported. Deported. Deported.
Get him out. Ready? Are you ready? Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Get the hell out of here.
WCBM.
Would I launch strikes in Mexico to stop drugs?
Come on.
It's okay with me.
Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. Boom, 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 boom. How. There you go. It's the Rob Carson Show. That's one of my favorite bumps because, we're kind of bumping the snot out of the Ayatollah. Donald Trump was on Newsmax just a moment ago, John Bachman's show, saying that our military is the best, most powerful in the world. They're hitting them very hard and expects this. He expects the surrender of Iran to happen sooner or later. So there you go. There you go. By the way, apropos of nothing, I just like to support local theater, particularly when many of the people involved in this little theater just happen to be conservative. Shh, don't tell anybody. It's in Annapolis here. It's about 35 miles from where I live. In Annapolis, Maryland, there's this little theater called the Classic Theater of Maryland. I went to see the Christmas Carol was wonderful. I went to see a music review there. It was wonderful. This weekend, I'm going to see A Tale of Two Cities. It's going to be running the rest of through the 15th. And Friday, by the way, is the 13th, so it ends on Sunday. And if you want to go, I put up on my social media, classictheatermaryland.org, classictheatermaryland.org. And I met them at the Christmas Carol, and we were backstage, and I bought the cast pizza. Because I know what it's like to be in the performing arts and to like what I do. I'm a freelancer. This is what I do. I sell me. I am my product. I am. It's like being a stand-up comedian. It's you. That's what you got. You don't build stuff. This is what you got. It's you. And when you do theater or when you do music and you decide to you're an artist. A lot of times, you're going to be suffering. You're not going to be making a lot of money doing it, but it's in your heart. And there are a lot of people, I'm sure, at the Classic Theater of Maryland who are working 2 or 3 jobs, but it's in their heart. And they pour their heart and soul out on stage. And A Tale of Two Cities right now is so apropos. The last 4 years I talked about the comparison of the bourgeois and the proletariat. The bourgeois in Washington, D.C., they spend their entire lives telling us how to live ours, while we, the proletariat, eat the crumbs. We eat the crumbs. And they even had a Bastille filled with January the 6th protesters. There's no more apropos comparison. And when Donald Trump announced his candidacy at Mar-a-Lago, they played, do you hear the people saying, for his walk-on music? They did, before they played YMCA, before they played Proud to Be an American, they played that song. Go look it up. I watched it and I went, oh my God. But A Tale of Two Cities is playing at the Classic Theater in Maryland through this weekend. I hope you'll go. I'm going to go see it on Sunday. But Classic Theater Maryland, if you're in the area, support them. I want to sell this theater out this weekend. Plenty of shows available, plenty of tickets available. I'm right down, like 4 rows up, right in the middle. It's like $80, worth every bloody penny of it. It's going to be, and Annapolis is beautiful, even though it's run by a bunch of morons. Go get a crab cake afterwards. One of the best crab cakes you ever had. You'll have it right there. Here is Rob Fitterty talking about CNN, their terrible coverage of what's going on in Iran, because they're the only U.S. network that was invited into Iran to cover the conflict, and they are fluffing the Ayatollah. Just listen to this.
CNN is the first network inside Iran since the start of the war with the U.S. and Israel with the government's permission there in Iran. And this morning, CNN's Fred Pleitgen sat down for an exclusive interview with a top Iranian official, the foreign policy advisor to the office of the supreme leader.
But Iran felt comfortable enough inviting CNN into the country to cover the war. Which is not a compliment.
No.
Because CNN and Iranian state media are essentially the same thing, separated by 8,000 miles.
Yes.
And the regime in Iran knows they can rely on CNN for coverage like this.
Taking a quick break for a coffee along the way. We've been driving for several hours. There's a couple of things that we've noticed. Number one is that, first of all the shops are open. All the shops are really well stocked, even with fresh things, like, for instance, fruits and vegetables. Coffee, obviously, also available as well. And then also the gas stations. There's no long lines as gas stations. Fuel seems readily available, and you just don't see any sort of degree of panic anywhere.
So that's a CNN reporter who, I swear, in Iran, sounds like he works for the Iranian Board of Tourism.
I know. I featured this on my TV show this weekend, Rob Carson's What in the World. That CNN reporter walking in like, oh, you should come visit. Oh, my God, Iran is so beautiful. Tehran, this time of year, seriously, it's spring, and the sand is budding everywhere. Whatever grows in the sand and the giant spiders that live, it's wonderful. You should come and visit. It's fantastic. Here's Finnerty with this guy, the same idiot, doing a report on the bombing. Okay, think about that. Normally, you get these guys who are in the middle of everything, like John Huddy on Newsmax, right in the middle of it. They're coming down, Trey Inkstone for on Fox. This guy's watching from a distance, sipping a latte.
You can only get reporting like this from inside Iran on CNN.
What we witnessed tonight was a flurry of airstrikes in that area, but also in the south of Tehran, where apparently a refinery was hit, and in the east of Tehran as well. And specifically with what you're seeing over there, we heard major thuds for an extended period.
Major thuds is what he's calling it.
Of time, and also heard jets flying overhead. So this seems to be one of those cases where a massive wave of airstrikes has happened here in Tehran, and the result you can see right there with that gigantic pulsating plume of smoke.
I mean, it looks like somebody's college reel that you would send VHS to a news station to try to get a job in news, but you wouldn't get hired because it's that bad.
It was really bad. Really, really bad. I heard a thud, but look, the shelves are fully stocked and everybody's drinking coffee. Unbelievable. Here's CNN with their, I guess, support for Hamas, and Rob Finnerty on NewsRack's response.
The government in Gaza says the Israeli Defense Forces struck a hospital in the center of Gaza City. Al-Ali Baptist.
This is how they reported that after October the 7th, by the way.
Hospital preliminary estimates from the government in Gaza put the number of killed in the strike somewhere between.
They did the same thing right now, too.
Between 200 and 300.
Hamas is calling this a genocide.
Hamas is calling this a genocide. So according to Hamas, which is a terrorist organization that attacked Israel and killed 1,200 people, CNN is quoting them. Hamas.
They haven't changed.
Think about that.
I know.
And think about that every time you watch CNN. They are fake news. They are state-run media. They are regime media. And everything they do is done deliberately to manipulate anyone who actually turns them on.
I got to tell you, I know a lot of you, like NewsMax is a smaller network, but it has just come up so much in the years that I've been with them. And Finnerty just freaking owns it. I've known Finnerty since Kansas City. His commentary is so bloody good, just so good. And Carl Higbee and Rob Schmidt, my gosh, it just fantastic. You need to get a NewsMax Plus membership. Download the NewsMax app, okay? And then my TV show is called Rob Carson's What in the World. It's on Sunday nights, and they're going to add a showing on Saturday. But Donald Trump's been watching it for years. He loves the show. He told me at Mar-a-Lago I'm the funniest guy on TV. He did. I'm not kidding. New study shows 70% of Americans don't get full benefits they deserve from Social Security. Right now, you can boost your benefits of a lifetime by $188,000. So when you get on Social Security, you can boost your benefits by $188,000. Social Security expert Michael Allen says it's true. Reveals 5 strategies to increase your benefits. If you would like his special report, write down this number. Well, as long as you're alive getting Social Security, you can make $188,000 more. Here's the number, 800-999-9690. 800-999-9690. We'll text you to you right away, along with the President Trump's act cutting your Social Security taxes again. Just call that number, 800-999-9690. If you're considering Social Security eventually, I ain't going to get it for about 10 years, but you may be knocking on the door of Social Security. You might be getting it right now, but call that number, will ya? Will ya? Thane Rosenbaum, expert on all things Israel, among other things, joins us on the other side of the break on The Rob Carson Show. Don't go anywhere. OPP. Hey guys, it's Carson. I just got a ghost bed. Yeah, no, pay attention here, because I've been sleeping on a foam mattress since I moved to the Washington, D.C. area, which is like sleeping on the sponge in your sink. Ghost Bed doesn't build mattresses like furniture. They build engineered sleep systems. Their beds are serious health equipment. Beds designed for relief and recovery, not looks, not fluff. Your body should be healing while you sleep, not fighting for comfort. I have been sleeping past 7 in the morning on my Ghost Bed. It's unbelievable. If you wake up stiff, you toss and turn, if you sleep hot, even reaching for a pain reliever before bed, hoping tonight will be different, that's not aging. It's your mattress talking. Another great thing I love about GhostBed, you get 101 nights to try it at home. If you don't like the difference, you can send it back risk-free. GhostBed is offering my audience their lowest prices of the season, plus an extra 10% off. Go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Use promo code Carson. That's ghostbed.com/Carson. Promo code Carson. You are going to love your new GhostBed. Every day for 20 years, I devoted myself to making sure my wife and kids were well-dressed and ready to face the world. Meanwhile, Dad over here wore T-shirts and jeans. Now I've discovered Quince. Quince has everyday essentials I love with quality that lasts, like linen bottoms and shorts, Pima cotton, European jersey linen. You're not just paying for brand markup or fancy retail stores, just quality clothing, and I look good. Their clothing is rated between 4.5 and 5 stars by thousands of people wearing it every day. Linen shorts are a go-to. They don't wrinkle when they're not cheap. The clothes I wear look expensive but aren't. When I go out in the evening, and I do now, I'm actually turning heads. It's nice to feel good and look good. Quince does that for me at a price I can afford. Right now, go to quince.com/Newsmax for free shipping and 365-day returns. Don't keep settling for clothes that don't last and don't look good. Go to QUINCE.com/Newsmax for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Newsmax.
Republicans say Muslims don't belong here after an attempted terror attack against New York's Mayor Zoran Mamdani and the House Speaker Mike Johnson says nothing really to condemn those comments. Another special guest is going to be with us at the table.
That is Abby Phillips, not focusing on the fact two radical Islamists attempted to blow people to bits in New York City, rather focusing on an anti-radical Islam rally. I swear to God, it does not get more upside down, stupid, and corrupt than that. Here to digest all of this is our good friend Thane Rosenbaum, legal analyst, law professor. My friend, can you believe the insanity in New York City?
You know, I'm in the middle of it. I live right here, and I was born here, so it is surreal. This, as you know, Rob, is the city with the largest number of Jewish Americans or Jews outside of Israel. And so we just elected a mayor whose wife, we've learned, that after the October 7th massacre, liked on social media multiple postings that celebrated the killing of Jews, the torching of Jewish babies, the gang raping of girls.
I know.
The mayor's wife. Now, let me just ask you this. Tell me what, because you're a smart guy, your finger's always on every pulse. If she had liked postings that said George Floyd deserved everything he got, if she had said, look, he had a criminal record after all, what do you expect? He resisted arrest. If she had said immigrants from Latin America don't belong in the United States, could you imagine? The mayor would be taken out and shot.
Yeah.
That's what would happen.
I swear to God.
So you can, they would. Could you imagine? Everyone would lose their mind.
Thane,
The mayor instead said, "My wife is a private citizen, so she can say what she wants."
I got to tell you, and I just see shadows of 1939 Berlin in New York City. I mean, my God, man. I've said it. You know, I came up with the expression homeboys, hillbillies, and Hebrews. I came up with it about a few years ago. And I said, because there's going to have to be a point where we go downtown and we beat the crap out of these people and we end this nonsense. We have got to end this. This is a fear and intimidation campaign, and the Jewish people of New York City, what does it feel like? What does it feel like in New York City right now with this man as the mayor, as a Jew?
It's awful. It is just awful. And, you know, remember, this is something that you and your audience probably shake your heads and go, what? The vast majority of Jews in this city voted for Mamdani.
I know he did.
And you go, what? Why on earth would any Jew vote for Mamdani? And in fact, I know most of the people that I know who are Jewish did. And so, talk about if you talk about your friend Thane feeling alone, you know that actually, you know, Jewish Americans are so wedded and embedded in the Democratic Party that they have openly supported someone who thinks that Israel should be dismantled, should be wiped off the map, should not exist as a Jewish state, believes that Israel has committed genocide, believes that Israel is an apartheid state, you know, and this is the mayor of this city, and you have Jews that voted for him. So, you know, what happened the other day is really, really scary because people like you told your audience once this war in Iran took place, now we know we have, 20 million unvetted immigrants. Mm-hmm. Surely there are sleeper cells. You have to be an idiot not to know that those two clowns with their that explosive devices, there must be hundreds, if not thousands of more. When I went into the subway yesterday, Rob, maybe I'm just too sensitive, but that's what I was thinking about.
I know.
I was sitting in the subway.
Of course you were!
And I was thinking, you know, is this my last day? Is someone going to blow up this car? And so what is it going to take? Do we have to have another Boston Marathon bombing?
Oh, it's going to happen, Thane. It's going to happen.
It could happen. Remember, the Boston Marathon bomb happened in an era in which we were vigilant about counterterrorism, in which we had Homeland Security
funded.
National, you know, we were worried about this. Now we're not worried about it anymore. We're sitting ducks.
I swear to God. Did you hear about this guy, this idiot, who had the intercom or the bullhorn, and he was shouting about, and then the guy threw the bomb over him? Are you ready? You better sit down for this, Thane. Have you seen the video that guy posted? Listen to it. This is a guy's named Walter Masterson. He's still on the side of Islam. Listen.
You don't get to come from outside and then tell everyone else.
Okay, that's the bomb being thrown over him.
That's me in the video getting a bomb thrown over my head. Let me just give you some context for what was happening. So this was at a rally hosted by white supremacist Jake Lang. He's a domestic terrorist from January 6th, pardoned by Donald Trump. He was holding an anti-Muslim rally when this guy jumped over me and committed an act of terrorism. That sounds confusing. Let me start over.
He's got a life-sized stormtrooper from Star Wars standing behind him as an adult man in the video, by the way. In case you wanted to know. He's an adult child.
Yeah. Look, there's a sickness. It's an anti-American sickness. It's an anti-white sickness. It's a disease that has infected universities, contributed to it, mass media. That's why your show is so important, why you're such a, in my view, seminal figure in our culture, because you're standing against it. We are taking for granted this appalling anti-Americanism, self-hatred, lack of patriotism, and apologies for terrorists. We apologize. We essentially say, we deserve it.
Well, George Bush said, we want to know why they hate us. Screw that. I don't care why you hate us. You just committed an act of mass murder. I don't give a rat's behind why you hate us.
Yeah, in fact, as you know, Barack Obama's 8 years was an apology tour.
I know.
He didn't even take the position, why do they hate us? He says, I know why you hate us.
This guy, by the way, this jackass, this Walter Masterson, he was involved in Jan 6. He got dressed up in costume and went into the Capitol, by the way. See, every once in a while you hear a weird story about somebody who's so much into a sexual deviancy that they will, respond to an advertisement looking for someone to kill them and eat them. This happens every once in a while. You'll hear this. And somebody will say, okay, I want to be that. I want to be killed by you. That's what this reminds me of. It's that sick. It's that sick.
One would think that if you saw the video and you said, wait a minute, you're tall, and he used you as a stepping stool. He jumped over you and used your shoulder to lift himself so that he could get the bomb closer to kill people. And that is not a wake-up call for you. If you were almost being used as a tool to kill people that are not white supremacists, they're calling attention to a very serious problem in the United States, which is that we have enabled millions of people to be here who hate us. Who hate us and could be a danger to us. Now, that doesn't mean it's everybody. It could be a lot of people here have the same impulses as generations of immigrants did, but they still arrived illegally, and many of them actually don't want to be here.
Well, the lion's share, Thane, the lion's share, 65% of the foreign population in New York City voted for Zohran Mamdani. That was 65% of his votership, and most of those are people who moved here not to assimilate, not because they love America, because they want to make America into what Zohran Mamdani believes it should be. That's just the way it is. That's the issue. We got to take a break and come back, Thane Rosenbaum. More on the other side of the break. This is the Rob Carson Show.
us for a real change.
So Jake Lang was holding the rally. He's known for three things: being a domestic terrorist from January 6th, pardoned by Donald Trump, losing to the letter S, and, as we found out today, grooming 15-year-old girls. Jake Lang was holding this rally saying things like this:
America is a white Christian country.
If you're saying America is for white Christian men, you're a white supremacist.
There you go. That is the guy who, one of the terrorist bombers in New York, who failed, by the way, launched one of the devices from this jackweed's shoulder. You know, Thane Rosenbaum, you know what he is? He's a martyr. He wants to be a martyr. He is willing, like a jihadist, to be a martyr for his cause, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's also forgotten everything about what his founding fathers believed in.
Yes.
Because even if he's right about the rally, or the head person who ran the rally, that he was a white supremacist, the First Amendment allows him to stand outside of Gracie Mansion, the mayor's house, and make a speech. You could disagree with it. I would disagree with it, actually. I'm sure that a lot of what was said that day was disagreeing. But what he's supporting is not the right for someone to gather together to express views that he disagrees with. He's saying, no, I actually think that I'm so much in favor of illegal immigration that I'm in favor of people throwing bombs at those people.
Yeah.
I'll protect the bomb throwers,
Yeah.
the flamethrowers. I'm with them. And you're saying that's not what George Washington, Alexander Hamilton, and Madison would say.
Yeah.
They would say, look, you can protect the view, the unpopular view or the noxious view, but there are no First Amendment protections for people that throw improvised bombs. And he's really saying is, if you are white and anti-immigrant, you deserve to be dead.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
And
He's,
if
you know,
you
listen,
violate
if this guy,
laws, it doesn't make a difference.
I'm going to tell you, Thane, if this Walter Masterson, if somebody said to him, I've loaded a car with explosives, I want you to drive it into that crowd of white Christians, he'd do it.
Of course.
You know, the same thing happened with Renee Good and Alex Priddy in Minneapolis. And the same modus operandi. You've got leaders who are hoping for some sort of casualty, use it against them, but would never consider becoming the casualty themselves. That's what happens in radical Islam. The mullahs never die. They never do, but they command people to die. Same thing goes with the left. It's the same damn thing, Thane. It's the same bloody thing. And I had a great expression shared to me, a guy named Tariq in Ellicott City yesterday. He said of this, listen to this, it's very profound. For leftists, for Democrats, casualties are their ammunition. Boom!
Yeah. Look, you know, I've said this before, and I am frightened by the things I say on your show. But, you know, America was asleep at what was happening in Europe.
Yes.
So, for instance, Christmas markets all throughout Germany for the last 5 to 10 years, Islamists drive their cars, sometimes shooting, sometimes just driving cars through Christmas markets.
Yeah.
They set fire to Christmas trees. Now, that hasn't happened here yet, but it might. It might. This is something that Europeans, you know, in Europe, they have what's known as grooming gangs. Grooming gangs are based on the idea that a bunch of young Muslims, under the Quran, have a right to rape infidel women, white women.
Wow.
Now, this is something the U.S. press that simply doesn't cover. But you can look it up. They're called grooming gangs. And so there are things that we haven't yet seen in America. We saw something the other day where flamethrowers, bombs were being thrown at people that, again, might have held noxious views against Muslims or immigrants, but were exercising their First Amendment speech. Remember, that's the problem with the anti-Israel rhetoric. It's not that they're arguing against Israeli policies. They're saying kill Jews.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's not
It's not protected speech. It's not protected speech.
There's no first constitutional safeguards for that.
Yep.
But when it comes to the progressive left and the Islamist green, the idea of killing is a First Amendment right.
Yes.
Throwing a bomb is my First Amendment right.
Dane, it's the same thing that happened to Iran in 1979. What's
Information. Truth is freedom. Is NEWSMAX. It's real news for real people.